Hello everyone. I thought I'd hop on here today to talk about comparing ourselves, how we can often fall into that really bad habit. Most of you know, I'm assuming, because I was really posting like crazy last week, most of you know that I was in London last week on a business trip, and it was actually a business gift from my company that rewarded a number of us for doing a really fantastic job. And I absolutely had a wonderful time. It was 100 times more than what I had ever thought it would be, and even multiply that. No drama there at all. It was crazy how much of a fun time it was. But here's a little secret, and that leads me to this video. While I was there, this sneaky little habit started appearing in me, and that was the habit of comparison. In the midst of all this celebration for the great things that I had done, I started to compare myself to these other women and men in the room. And I know better than that. That is one thing that I have marked as a platform that I love to speak to other people about, is we need to stop comparing. We are uniquely made, one of a kind. We all have a purpose that is unique from everybody else. But I found myself falling into that really bad habit. And I thought, me, who loves to speak against that, if I do it, how many other women out there do it? I'm sure there are men that do it, but I'm coming from a woman's standpoint. Can't get inside of a man's brain, but I certainly can get inside of a woman's brain. And we do it way too many times. So I wanted to hop on here and talk about why I think comparison is so dangerous. And I've spoken on this before, but obviously this is something that needs to be spoken about over and over. So here's what happened. On this side of my brain all last week, I had the truth that you did a great job. You are in London because you were really successful in your job last year and continue to be successful. Celebrate yourself. And then I had this other part of my brain that was picking out things from other people who were there that I wished I had. That comparison, awful habit. So here's some things that I came up with that I just wanted to throw out there at you. So comparison is always unfair. And here's why. Because you are comparing the worst. You're picking out something that you perceive as the worst in you and putting it up against somebody else's best. Do you see how those are never ever fair? The worst in you to the best in them. That's not going to work. The other thing is comparison robs us of precious time. Something that I found out is there are 86,400 seconds in a day. We only have one life to live, and every day and every second is precious. And if we're going to take seconds from our day, we are taking those precious seconds and we are displacing them into something that should not be even top of our mind. So you're wasting your precious time, those precious seconds. We have one life to live. The other thing that I recognized with comparison is that we are too unique to compare. There's no one else like you. No one else like me. No one has had your successes, your failures, my successes, my failures, my gifts, my talents, my purpose. There's no one else on earth that has your God-given, specifically your purpose in life. So we are too unique to compare, right? It's never going to work out. The other thing that I really feel that comparison does, or just a point about comparison, is there's really no end to what we could compare ourselves to someone. It could go on and on unless we put a stop to it. Our comparisons are endless. They really are, and it's so unfair. Comparison also puts the wrong emphasis on the wrong person. You are focusing on someone else, and you can't control them, but who can you control? You can control yourself. So you are displacing your focus by looking at someone else and comparing, when really you just need to be looking at your own self. Comparison can also breed resentment. And resentment can eat us up and spit us out so quickly. So we can start to resent somebody else's success, their looks, their talents, their gifts. And that leads to nothing good. And the last point that I came up with, and it's just really very obvious, and it really ties into those other ones that I mentioned before this, is really comparison just flat out deprives us of joy. We start to focus and complain for what we don't have instead of finding joy and gratefulness and having a grateful heart in what we do have. So that's my little thing to you today, my little thought process. I'm not naive enough to think that I'm the only person that struggles with this from time to time, and I love sharing things like this on here that can help somebody else. So here's the deal. I don't want to just go on and on and on, but on Friday I'm going to hop back on here, and I actually came up with what I think are some very practical things to stop this complaining habit, this cycle of complaining. So if you're curious what I've come up with, tune back in on Friday afternoon. I like hopping on in the afternoon because I get all my stuff out of the way before. So hop back on. And if you have anything else that you want to share, I'd love to find out what they are about comparison. So please comment. And if you found anything valuable in this, and if you think that this could bless somebody else, go ahead and share it. I'm not tooting my own horn by asking you to share, but I am all about Facebook being used as a tool to help people instead of being used as a tool that, sort of airs our dirty laundry. So that's it. Hop back on Friday if you want to find out what my practical things are about comparing. If not, have a great day, and thank you so much for watching.